Transition Team Senior Advisor Jason Miller. Over the weekend, we saw that little protest. So President Trump is not a cloistered autocrat. He's an efficacious ally. He is bringing our allies closer together against our worldwide enemies. How do you see it?
Yeah, Dagan, you're exactly right. After 4 years of neglect from Joe Biden, and as we've seen wars break out all over the place, President Trump is actually reversing that. He's solved, what is it, 8 potential conflicts as we've seen so far, and he's brought peace to Gaza. Now he's working on Russia, Ukraine. These are tough, but the reason why they're important is this directly impacts what's happening here in the United States. The markets want stability and they want peace, so people know where to go and deploy their assets, where to invest their capital, and you got to have a calm down world to be able to go and do that. So I think what the president's doing is really, as you mentioned, reasserting the country on the global stage, and this is going to have direct benefit to us here at home.
So, Jason, I have been reading Bret Baier's new book about Theodore Roosevelt, who famously lived by the proverb, walk softly and carry a big stick. Is that what we're seeing with the Trump foreign policy in action, and is that effective?
Well, I think what we're seeing is President Trump really has his own foreign policy, and that is the fact that he's going to look out for America first, but it's not America only. And so we see with regard to, say, the narco-terrorists, he's definitely shown what happens when you have the big stick. And now those narco-terrorists are sleeping with the fishes, very literally. But also when it comes to the very complex problems, whether it be in Gaza, when we talk about Israel and Palestinians, or when we're looking to, say, Ukraine, where Russia obviously has invaded that country, you have to be a little bit more delicate. It's not always that easy because the reflexive knee-jerk reaction that I think previous administrations would have taken is, okay, let's go right to the battle lines. Let's go and ramp up the military conflict. Let's go and further embroil ourselves into the situation where President Trump is saying, hold on, let's take a step back. We don't need to be the world's cop, but where we can step in and actually bring peace, then let's go ahead and do it.
How do you think it plays out with Xi Jinping in the coming days, Jason? It seems as if China overplayed its hand and overreached with the rare earth mineral shutdown embargo, however you want to describe it, because it has sent even nations who are our allies but had kind of tenuous relationship with us, the United States, at the moment because of the trade fight, running to the United States, and it gives the United States and President Trump the opportunity to really join forces and link arms against China. How does President Trump use that leverage?
Yeah, Dagan, great point. A really good observation about China, I think, really biting off more than they can chew here. So what China's doing is they're trying to test the United States to see what the reactions are going to be. We've seen this from China in recent years with regard to Taiwan. A lot of these moves are just to test out what the U.S. or other allies will do. But what China did here, saying they're going to cut off literally the entire world when it comes to rare earths and magnets and critical minerals, that, as you mentioned, really galvanized people to say, okay, China, you got to knock this off here. Mm-hmm. Because here's the thing, China is still a manufacturing-based economy. Well, you can't be a manufacturing-based economy when you're attacking or cutting off all of your customers. So China has definitely a limited runway on how far they can go here. Ultimately, I think we'll see a de-risking, a de-escalation when President Trump and President Xi get together in Korea toward the end of next week. But again, China, this isn't the end when it comes to China. This is really just the beginning, as I think their games are going to continue for quite some time.
Oh, yeah. You know, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. China is absolutely capitalizing on that axiom. But as we learn more about this $8.5 billion rare earth minerals deal with Australia, it just makes you wonder. You know, we're hearing about the concentration of these resources in Greenland, and now we're making a deal with one of our friendlies, Australia. Where else are these rare earth minerals? And are we on the precipice of really boxing China out of its biggest bargaining chip?
Yeah, another great point, because where we're seeing a lot of these rare earth and critical mineral deals come from are places such as sub-Saharan Africa. We're seeing it in Southeast Asia. There are a couple of all-stars that the president has added to his team. John Yovanovitch, who's running the Exim Bank. He was just recently confirmed by the Senate. Also Ben Black, who's running the DFC, the Development Finance Corp. These are the agencies that are using American capital to make sure that we're completely using everything that we're exporting or importing and bringing in, but also the days of just giving money away to other countries are done. That's over. We're using American capital to make sure that we're actually going to make money and shore up supply chains for our country. So you look at things such as the Libido Corridor, which DFC is putting together, where they take things from DRC and Angola, send it out to the west coast of Africa to then ship to the U.S. So we're getting the excavation down. But Dagan, I tell you, the other critical point, it's about the processing. That's where we're behind on China.
Right.
That's where President Trump is saying, we got to pick up the pace, guys. Let's go. Biden, you're asleep at the switch the last 4 years. We got to be able to get this cranking right now.
Well, we can't do it if everyone is too fat. That's where Pete Hegseth comes in. Jason Miller, thank you so much.
Hey, thank you both.
Absolutely.